in this episode of Finding Speed, we're going to be looking at the things I'm going to be doing with these guys. With Ruben, the stage we're at now, we're at a point where we're working on something of what I call respecting the red line. Young Nui's joined the team. He's got a lot of raw pace, very confident, and there's something quite specific that we're working on with Nui's technique, helping him to get into more of an aggressive, hinged over position. We're going to see what that work does for Nui, and we're leading into the first race of the season in March. So we've had a really good team camp in January. I got the opportunity to sit down with all the riders, have a chat with them about 2025, what they want to do, what their racing ambitions are, how they're feeling, and we could make a bit of a plan on how the year was looking. So we're moving into our February camp, and we've only got a few of our riders down. Two of those riders are Ruben and Nui. So in this episode of Finding Speed, we're going to be looking at the things I'm going to be doing with these guys. Starting off with Ruben, we've been working together now for about 4 years. He's been on the team for 2 years, and things are going really well. Like technique-wise, we've kind of ticked all the boxes now, and things are starting to be very automatic for him. I'm not having to constantly remind him of things. He's just riding really well, riding really fast. As everyone knows, he's a powerhouse, so he's got that as like his strength. And when he attacks a track and rides confidently, he can use that to his advantage. Now he's got all the techniques flowing as well. It's more about working on racecraft. And with Ruben, the stage we're at now, we're at a point where we're working on something of what I call respecting the red line. So in practice, we work our way through and try and build speed to a point where we're getting to that race pace, and when that race run comes, you can put down that perfect run. And with Ru, we're at a stage where we need to get him comfortable and confident going into that race run based off the practice he's done, and he can respect that red line. Because at the moment, he's just lifting above that at times, and as we saw on the January camp, when we had our race at the end, I just managed to beat him by 0.18, and that was because he made a huge mistake just by pushing potentially a little bit too hard right at the bottom of the track, trying to find speed that he didn't need to find.
Oh shit! That could have just thrown it all away a little bit.
I feel like held back's the wrong word. I kind of like just make silly mistakes when I start pushing over that red line. Me and Jack have spoken about it quite a lot. And I find that it comes to a race run, and then I'm going down the track and I'm thinking I'm pushing everywhere, but then there's little bits that I just kind of like overdo it, and then obviously make the small mistake. For example, in January, I missed out like the full bottom roll gap because I just came around that one corner too fast, I didn't brake as much, thought I'd get away with it.
Oh, that's good, isn't it? Sick.
So throughout this week in February, we're going to be working on that. We're going to be just doing lots of riding, and he can obviously keep, going through the flow with his techniques and just riding. But we're also going to do some very focused timing and technique work, building towards some full runs at the end of the week where we can get him feeling like he can just go and do his best and it'll be enough. I've had this myself in my career where you go into a run and sometimes you feel like your best isn't going to be quite enough, so you end up pushing too hard. And with Ruben, what we need to do is go into the season having him believing that when he finishes a practice session, yeah, that's it, I'm ready, I'm just going to go and have fun, hit my marks, do my race run, and things will be good, not pushing above the line. So with Ruben, our focus is going to be respecting that red line and trusting himself when he goes into the timed runs. So we've just got a mini split here, fast right, rocks, fast left, but there's so much going on, so much feedback from the ground coming up through the riders. We're looking for hip stability, strength in the legs, good balance, not grabbing brake, lots of things like that. So team riders there, Oscar was the quickest, but we're all within 2/10. You could see that Ruben came in a little bit too much sauce on his entry into that corner, got a bit unstable, and it just cost him then. You could see him fighting all the way through the sector, but it's too late. So by the time you've made a mistake like that, you're going to pay for it all the way through. So the three of us looked like we got it quite nice, and Ru just was a bit aggressive on entry. So young Nui's joined the team, and I mean, he's quite like Ru in the sense he's got a lot of raw pace, very confident, rides with real aggression and commitment, which is just awesome for all of us to watch. Obviously not as experienced as the rest of the riders on the team, only 15, is a second year youth, and there's something quite specific that we're working on with Nui's technique, which is helping him to get into more of an aggressive hinged over position, and with that be then driving down through his heels more, because at the moment at certain times he gets into quite an unstable position, pushed onto his toes, and his hips come forwards, and you can see that from some of the footage we've got here where you can see him coming through the section and his chest has risen up, his hips have come through and forwards, and he looks like he's on his toes, and the back of the bike looks like he's now out of control. So we're working on trying to get Nui into that locked, solid position. He's a really strong rider, he trains a lot in the gym, so he's got the ability to be in the position and hold the position, but my job is to get him aware of that and give him the framework to then practice it when he's out with us at the racing centre, in the bike park, and start to understand when he's in it, and then when he's not in it, and go, that didn't feel right, and we can show him the videos and get him to relate to that. So with Nui, what I actually need him to do is slow down.
Oscar, Ru, just go and get into it this afternoon, have some fun, set your week off right. Nui, I actively want you to stay away from these two this afternoon. I don't want you chasing them. I want you more focusing on your body position, how you're riding, so stay with me, Charlie and Gabe, while I work with Charlie and Gabe. And then we'll let you loose with them when the time's right, okay?
I need him to relax, slow down, not try and ride at 100%, ride at say, 75, 80%, whatever you want to call it, so that he can then feel that, identify it, slow down for a little bit of time, get comfortable, and then when we get to the races, set him free, and hopefully that technique will have become automatic, and without even trying to go faster, he will then be able to go faster because he'll be in a more comfortable, composed, solid position on the bike and be more efficient. So that is literally a long-winded way of saying we're going to help Nui find speed. So that's going to be our focus at the next camp. We're going to see what that work does for Nui and Ru leading into the first race of the season in March.
Alright, Nui, what are we focusing on to improve our time?
Mostly try to slow it down, not try to keep up with Oscar and Ruben, and focus on technique and efficiency. So try and improve your times, so then when you go faster you can be even quicker. Yeah, that's the plan.
Alright boys, final ride session. So everybody's done really well this week, really well. You've all got your own agendas for the day, I think. Charlie, we're going to build on what we finished yesterday. Gabe, let's do some more follow cams to see if we can get you all the way connected through the V. Your day was a write-off yesterday, so let's see if you can come back from that, build up to some good times. You set a solid time yesterday, but I guarantee you he's probably going to go 2 seconds faster than that, so see what you can do. See if you can stay in touch. I feel like you can. And you've got to try and defend that bottom split, okay? But remember what we ultimately said, we're not that far out from the races, so all of you ride with control, nothing mental, finding that rhythm and just letting it build run for run, so that when you do that fast pace at the end, it actually still feels like it's just rhythmic and you're just hitting your marks, you're not doing anything crazy or wild. Does that make sense? Cool, let's go have some fun.
Yeah, so yesterday I had a bit of a tough day.
So I wasn't really feeling it on the bike. I couldn't get into it. Just one of them days, I think. I had a few mechanicals that were like causing a bit of a pisser. So got everything sorted out. Had a couple of fun laps in the afternoon out the boys with building the new line, and then yeah, hopefully today just gonna get into it properly, do some proper runs, and been working with Jack quite a lot on the like respecting the red line sort of thing. So after the cock up of a day yesterday, my plan is to get on track, do a couple of runs, have a bit of fun, get to that point where I'm going fast, and then trust that pace that I'm at, and just go and do a run and see how it goes. Because at this point now, I just really need to respect what I'm doing and enjoy it, and feel like I'm going quick enough to do a good time.
Pretty sure that's the tyre.
Yeah.
So that's something to be mindful of. Don't let the forces push your hips forwards. You need to keep them in that solid position so they're over your legs. If you let them come in front, that's when the back of the bike will start giving you the unwanted feedback. Okay? But you're making huge progress with it, dude.
Thank you.
Yeah, so last week Jack has been helping me to get my hips back, drive through the hills so the back wheel is not as bouncy, and so I can ride quick and feel controlled and stable without the back wheel being just kicking me everywhere. Just taking some chill runs last day, don't take it too hard, and have fun.
So Nui asked me at the bottom how he got the section last time, and I told him about his chest. He's just nailed it there, so that's good. So the boys had their first run through it on the last run, and at the bottom Nui asked me how he'd got the section just up there, the off camber left, and I explained what we saw in the video where as he hit the catch he hadn't committed, so his left shoulder was closed, his chest wasn't pointing towards the exit of the turn, it was pointing down the hill, so he needed to be more open and positive through the turn, and he's just absolutely nailed it there. Hit the catch real positive, bounced out of it, got the S without running off the track, so that's good to see. The boys are getting into it, they're in the GFR crew. So how did you feel there? Because obviously you asked how it went. I told you didn't get chest and shoulder through the first time. I've got the video of it on my phone, but it looked like you nailed that. How did that feel?
Yeah, this time I got the chest, tried to get what you said, the chest out, and it definitely felt more safe.
Yeah.
Pushing out of the corner and just don't getting pushed down.
Yeah, exactly. Not getting dragged low. That's what it looked like when I watched you there. Rather than hitting the catch and whoa, you went
exactly.
Bang, popped up high, connected the S, because normally there'd be tape there. So on the run before you'd have gone off the track. So
Yeah, this time felt faster and better,
Yeah,
and
felt
more
like
controlled, definitely.
stayed higher. Beautiful.
Oh yeah, watch the front in the first corner.
Oh, you really?
Or in the right, yeah.
I got it good.
I was like, yeah, sick. Get it mint, smack. And I went, wow! Yeah, up the berm, had to pedal there. Yanked, barely got over it.
43.31.
Yeah, so you 43.3 is the same as what you did last time, isn't it? You're quicker across the fire road.
Yeah.
Do you feel it?
I literally nearly fucking, like, off the second compression, I nearly landed in the fire road.
Nice. Yeah, I do. I gap to the fire road.
Oh, do you?
I purposely gap to the back of the fire road. That's what I'm saying.
Oh.
So where you're grabbing brake, I'm lifting up, landing on the back of that lump in the fire road, and then hitting the turn.
Oh.
So yeah, what you did is what I'm kind of doing on purpose.
I need to do that.
Yeah, I did think of doing it, but
What
like,
did you do?
26.7, 42.9, 43.8.
Yeah, you fast at the bottom, man. Fucking hell. Really good. So 22.5, 122.5, 124.1. One. The thing is, do we let the time stand? You went through the tape. You'd be disqualified. I don't think the time stands there. Was his as bad or not?
what, Ruse?
We saw Ruse. Ruse got to be disqualified. He couldn't be there.
He does have the GoPro.
Man,
This was 100% not faster.
because there was some corner cutting going on.
Corner sliding, homie.
Yeah, they're both DQs, boys. Way off the track.
Bro, if you think that was faster, I'd be impressed.
Neither time stands. Sorry, there's no point me leading you into a false sense of security. You can't get to the bottom, it don't count. Alright, so we've just finished our time session on Through the V. With Nui, we've been working on his stability on the bike, specifically through his hips and his legs, stopping his hips coming forwards, so that the back of the bike is less wild and he gets offline less and has more control. It's worked massively this week, and he's starting to look less like a kind of a kamikaze pilot or a wild guy and more like a racer. He's fluid through his lines and he's looking really composed on the bike. He's just put a really nice run in there. Unfortunately, him and Ruben did exactly the same, and they blew out of that last corner. Ended up, they would have gone through the tape, so it was a shame, but he would have put a really nice time in. So yeah, really successful week with Nui. We've had a good winter, and I'm excited to get him to the races. The kid's got so much raw pace, and now we've spent a winter tidying up his techniques on the bike and making him more efficient. I'm excited to see how he goes in the youth category this year. For Ruben, we've been exercising that red line respect, and to be honest, I've had to do a little bit of that myself today. The run before this one, Oscar and Ruben beat my best time on this track, so nobody wants that. I decided to do a run. And coming into it then, I was all kind of fired up, because obviously I'm never going to hear the end of it if those boys beat me, so need to get back ahead of them, and was mindful at the top not to go out and push too hard. There's so much consequence on this track if you get it wrong, so there was maybe a little bit of that going on, but I just stayed the right side of the red line and went 1.4 faster than I did yesterday and did a 1:22.5, so that's a new track record for us. Ruben, whether you call it him not respecting the red line or not, did the same as Nui and blew out of the last corner. We all saw it. So he got 99% of the way down the track before the red line bit him. So hopefully that's 99% far enough, and when we get to the races it'll be 100%, and he'll be putting that pace down. If he hadn't done that, he would have been right there with me again on a 1:22. So I'd say we've had a really successful week for Ruben and Nui. They're both in a really good place going into the start of the season. I'm excited to see how they both get on, and excited to help them as much as I can, while still obviously trying to beat them when it comes down to it. But yeah, another good week. Through the V's delivering for our training, and yeah, it's all good. See you at the next camp. My God.
Well, yeah.
We were watching, we were like, come on, hold on to it, hold on to it, hold on to it. Just everywhere. You did it.
I changed down in that inside there. Like literally just round that tree there for the drop. I was there clicking it down, so when I pedalled it was actually to change down for me.
Yeah, so he's managed to do the last corner this time, and basically ended up with the time that we hypothesised you would have had last time without cutting it, a 1:22.75. So nice, can legitimately go on the leaderboard now. And respected the red line. He's whining about the top split, but his top split there was exactly the same as